Did you know at one point Marvel thought Black Panther's name was too political and tried to change his name? Which is crazy to think compared to comics today, which they never shy away from anything political. Thanks to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Black Panther has become one of Marvel's most iconic heroes and a household name. Also, he is actually the first black superhero Marvel ever made. Ironically, his name is shared with the controversial black political group, the Black Panthers, which almost made Black Panther himself guilty by association. Not wanting an unnecessary connection to be made with their character, Marvel considered making Black Panther give up his now famous name. Marvel wanted to distance themselves from the current politics of the world. This would have seen him take on another name of a feline entirely. Here's what kept the character's latest movie from being called Black Leopard: Wakanda Forever. It all started in 1965. Stan Lee was managing a team of artists and writers who were actively competing with DC Comics for comic sales. Stan Lee heard of an upcoming release of a line of comics that was going to be a game changer for DC. Stan Lee feared that Marvel Comics would be crowded off the newsstands as they didn't have anything new or upcoming in the pipeline. So instantly, Stan Lee came into the Marvel office and told Kirby and the rest of the team they need to start looking for new lines and new characters. They tapped into a little history by researching ancient cultures of Mexico and Africa. They also dug deeper into sci-fi lore that was becoming more popular at the time. The results of their hard work was a few new characters that are still famous today, the Inhumans, and a black superhero who led an uncolonized African nation and used cutting-edge futuristic weaponry. And we all know who that black superhero was. Yes, it was Coal Tiger. Yes, I said that right. Coal Tiger. Kirby presented the character to Lee, and Lee decided not to push the black hero or the Inhumans at the time. He wanted to wait to introduce their new black character with an already popular line of white characters, instead of giving him his own title first. Stan Lee didn't really like the name Coal Tiger, so he renamed him Black Panther. The name was inspired by a pulp adventure hero who has a Black Panther as a helper. The newly renamed Black Panther was introduced in Fantastic Four 52, which hit the newsstands in April of 1966 with a cover date of July of 1966. At the time, this was Marvel's first ever black superhero. When Kirby was asked what his reasoning was in making Marvel's first ever black superhero, this is what he said. "I came up with the Black Panther because I realized I had no blacks in my strip. I'd never drawn a black. I needed a black. I suddenly discovered that I had a lot of black readers. My first friend was black. And here I was ignoring them because I was associating with everybody else. It suddenly dawned on me. Believe me, it was for human reasons. I suddenly discovered nobody was doing blacks. And here I am, a leading cartoonist, and I wasn't doing a black. I was the first one to do an Asian. Then I began to realize that there were a whole range of human differences. Remember, in my day, drawing an Asian was drawing Fu Manchu. That was the only Asian they knew." A very weird way to put it, but that was a direct quote from him. A few months later, in October of 1966, the Black Panther political party was founded. Marvel's Black Panther appeared in a few comics until becoming a mainstay in the Avenger Comics line in issue number 52 from 1968. He stayed in that comic book for a few years until about 1971. During this time, the Black Panther political party got increasingly more and more popular. Stan Lee wanted to distance the Black Panther from being associated with the political party. In the beginning, he was often just referred to as Black Panther, then slowly he would be referred by his personal name, T'Challa, more and more. They even tried to just refer to him as the Panther in Astonishing Tales issue 6 and 7, which came out in the middle of 1971. On the cover you can see they just simply called him the Man Called T'Challa. In the issue they simply referred to him as the Panther. Finally, in November of 1971, Stan Lee told writer Roy Thomas to change Black Panther's name to Black Leopard in an upcoming Fantastic Four comic book, issue number 119. Roy Thomas hated the name change, but did what he was told. During this time, both Marvel and DC were concerned with embracing too many progressive ideas and didn't want to get too involved. In the issue, the Thing and the Human Torch free T'Challa, and he calls himself the Black Leopard. He explains in the comic why he changed his name. It was due to the political movement, the Black Panthers, for which he doesn't condemn or support their actions, but wishes to remain separate from them. Thus he decided to change his name to the Black Leopard, with leopards actually being the same as panthers anyways. Black Panthers are leopards, but they just had a mutated gene that makes them all black instead of spotted. If you ever actually look closely at a Black Panther, you will see the same markings that's on a leopard, just very faint. Needless to say, nobody liked the name change, and by his next appearance in Daredevil 92 in July of 1972, he's back to being called Black Panther. Then his next appearance would be in Avengers 105, which was released in August of 1972, where he explains why he changed his name back to Black Panther. His reasoning was that he was proud of his name, and despite its connotations with the political group, he was no one's stereotype. He then got his own series in Jungle Action No. 5 in 1973, which ran until issue 24 in 1976. Though popular with the college students, the overall sales of the Jungle Actions were low, and Marvel relaunched the Black Panther in a self-titled series, bringing in the character's co-creator Jack Kirby, who newly returned to Marvel after having decamped to rival DC Comics for a time as a writer, penciler, and editor. However, Kirby wanted to work on new characters and was unhappy being assigned to a series starring a character he had already worked with extensively. He left the series after only 12 issues and was replaced by someone else. The Black Panther ran for 15 issues, January 1977 to May of 1979, once again getting canceled due to low sales. The Black Panther continued to appear in other comics and would have his solo series rebooted many times, with some being very successful. As time went on, the Black Panther got more and more popular, and we finally got to see him on the big screen alongside the Avengers and in his own movie series. And that's kind of the strange story of why they changed his name just for one issue to the Black Leopard, because Marvel didn't want to get too political. I'm David from the Comic Book Investments. Have a great day.